Well, hello, Steve.
Tammy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great now that you're here.
Only a few more days.
It's Ride Week. This is like leading up to your favorite holiday week. And, even though we are doing this once again virtual, hold on, I got to turn my phone off. I'm watching and trying to pay attention to what's going on
Pay
here.
attention.
And hey, I'm trying to pay attention. I know. But, even though we're doing it virtual this year yet again, I feel like there's a little bit more energy, a little bit more excitement about what we have in store for this year's ride, right?
Not even a little bit. It feels like night and day, even though we are still living in, I don't want to say the word, we're still living in this pandemic. The energy has completely shifted from last year to this year. I can feel it, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like next year.
Yeah,
But
and
I want, oh, sorry.
I was
Sorry,
going
Steve.
to say, the energy is definitely tangible, but also the ride week. Of course, we have people calling in saying, "Hey, I need to get a different ride jersey," and then we have some of the team saying, "I want to top up my team. I just found a donor for X amount of dollars, and I want to get my team up in the standings." And so all the exciting things that are happening in a normal ride year is happening this week. And the other thing that I know we wanted to touch on and share with the people tuning in today is the stories, right? Because the ride has so many stories and
Yeah.
some very powerful stories. And we received one last week from one of our riders. And did you want to share with the
Yeah.
audience?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So for everyone who's on the call right now, who's joined us on Facebook and YouTube, we know that you have your stories and your whys. This past week, we received an email. So our ride guides received an email from a gentleman who's a 10-year rider, and he reached out to ask for an extra jersey. And of
Tam,
course,
yeah, like you got to earn the jersey, right?
you
Like
got to
we
earn it.
never give away jerseys. You got to
No,
earn it, right?
yeah, for sure. So, when someone reaches out for an extra jersey, we think, well, that's nice, but that's almost impossible for us to do. But this gentleman went on to share a bit of a story to let us know that he was with his team scoping out his route for this coming weekend. He's planning on doing the Hammer, so 160 kilometers. And he stopped on Totten Road, I believe it was.
Yep.
And he and a few of his friends went into a bakery. And there he was wearing his ride jersey, the jersey that you're wearing right now, because he's an ambassador. You're wearing your RBC ambassador jersey. And a woman behind the counter said, "Hey, you're a cyclist. I'm selling a bike." And he was a little skeptical. She asked if he was interested, noticed his jersey, said that he was doing the ride. They exchanged numbers. And turns out that this woman was selling the bike of her deceased son, who had planned to ride in the Ride to Conquer Cancer, bought this beautiful bike and wasn't able to ride it. This gentleman returned back, purchased the bike, and is now riding in this young man's honor for his memory. Of course, his mother broke down in tears. And the other thing that this gentleman shared with us is that the burial for this young man is happening on Saturday, August 28th, the day of our ride. And Steve and I have already shed our tears, as have the rest of our team. And this gentleman did share his story with the foundation today. And we thought it was one that was compelling and so compassionate and caring that we wanted to share it with all of you today. It touched all of our hearts. We thought it'd be nice to pass that along.
And Tammy, I also heard from this rider that the family mentioned that the funeral taking place happens to be at around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and this rider and his teammates said, "You know what? We're actually going to be riding right by the cemetery at that particular time." And so the mother of the deceased rider has invited them to come by the cemetery. And so that's where they're going to bring the extra jersey and deliver it to the family. And wow, what a serendipitous story. And this rider who spoke at our town hall today, he said, I've been doing the ride for 10 years and I feel like I'm doing my part and I'm fundraising for cancer research, but I never thought I would play a role, like a tangible role with with someone who was like actually affected by cancer directly. And so he's actually doing that. And it's just a nice story out of a heartbreak. And then, the other thing I noticed that it's for those bike riders or the people who understand bikes in the audience, it's a BMC time machine bike. And so when I saw the picture of it, and there's a sticker on it now that he's riding in honor of Anthony, the person who passed on. And I looked at the bike, and it's a time machine bike. And man, wouldn't we all give, what would we all give for more time with our loved ones who's going through cancer? And I thought there were just so many points to this story that reminded me of why we do the ride. And, it reminded me of another story a little bit with some of you may remember at our opening ceremonies who our last in-person event 2 years ago, when we had the beautiful Julianne Misk, the 22-year-old, I think at the time, who was our opening ceremony speaker. And she rode on a tandem bike with her father, and unfortunately her cancer returned, and sadly last summer she passed from her cancer. At the same time, we had our Bill Wall. Some of you might remember Bill Wall, our 92-year-old rider who's blind, and he rides on the tandem bike. And Bill did the ride last year, and it was his 10th ride, and he said he was retiring at 92. But after Bill found out about Julianne, who passed away from her cancer last summer, he called me up this fall and he said, I'm coming out of retirement. I've approached the family and I want to ride in Julianne's place on the back of her bicycle with Julianne's father. So Bill Wall coming out of retirement for his 11th ride, and he's going to be riding with Joe Misk, Julianne's father, and they'll be riding in Niagara Falls with the Steve Cycle Pass team on Saturday, August the 28th. So many great stories, Tam, and this is what really inspires me and motivates, I know, our team to keep pushing hard.
No kidding. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, I see a lot of comments here from some of our viewers, all the jerseys for this gentleman. And yes, you're right, Marilyn. Or was it Miranda that made that comment? Thank you. We feel very touched and grateful to be able to have such a wonderful ride family. So many people in our ride community are exactly like this gentleman. So, okay, I'm going to change the mood a little bit and talk. I'm just going to do some, I don't know what you call it, housekeeping. What are we going to talk about today, Steve? So yeah, we talked about, a couple of really inspirational stories and incredible people. But we're going to take you through the ride weekend at a glance. What to expect. Those of you who are on the phone probably received your ride ready kits. We're going to talk about some pre-ride direction and preparation, our refuel stations, our top team challenge. You're going to be hearing from Stefan, from Bass, from Jill. She's going to give you some tips on home stretch fundraising for those of you who are still working towards your jerseys. And we may give you a little tip on what to expect for our 15th year anniversary next year. And then of course we'll have our standard questions and answers. So Steve, I wonder if you could start off by giving us a little high-level glance on what to expect this weekend.
Absolutely. So first of all, we're going to order up some great weather.
Yes.
And I hear it is going to be warm, maybe not quite as hot as today, but it's supposed to be hot. There's a chance of some liquid sunshine, but that's exactly what it is, liquid sunshine. So embrace it if it does happen to come down. But we are going to kick things off at 8 a.m. Tammy and I are going to be your hosts for the opening ceremonies. We're going to have several special guests and some of our traditional elements. So that's going to take about 40 minutes. So we're hoping that people will tune in. This year, we have decided not to do a closing ceremony. So we're going to do one opening ceremonies, 8 a.m. Saturday morning. Don't miss it. All the cool people are going to be tuning in. And then we hope you start your ride after that point in time. As you should know by now, but you're going to hear more of in just a few minutes from Bass, we have 4 refuel stations around the Golden Horseshoe and then one other hydration station. Those will open at 8:30 in the morning. And then close at 3 p.m. So as I said, Bass is going to give a lot more detail, including a map and everything you can expect at those refuel stations. including the COVID safety measures. We've had a few riders reach out to us and say, are you promoting gathering? What's the deal with these refuel stations? But we've got a great plan, and Bass will touch on that when we get to that point.
Yeah.
Now I think we're going to be, what are we getting into now? Oh, and then after you're done your ride on Saturday or Sunday, this is typically a 2-day ride. We hope some of you will be doing the 2-day ride, but of course, if you're just doing 1 day, or if you're just, I know I have some friends who are moving their kids into university this weekend, so they've already done their ride, or they're going to do the ride the weekend after. So, as Tammy's shirt says, it's not where, it's why. Right, Tam? Give us,
Yep.
there it is. And just a reminder that, why we're all doing this event and why we're fundraising. It's for cancer research. And, just because we're not in person doesn't take away the necessity to keep fundraising for cancer and cancer research at Princess Margaret. So, but on, and I'll hand it over to Tammy. I don't want to steal your thunder like I usually do. So Tammy, tell us what's going to happen at the end of the weekend.
Sure. Well, many of you who tuned in last year to our closing ceremonies would have seen this incredible recap video that we had, that our team produced. We are going to do the same thing, but we're going to try to do that in an even shorter period of time. So on your ride, take pictures. Don't just keep them for yourself, share them. Steve and I and the rest of the ride team want to see you. We can't be everywhere. We won't be able to see you otherwise. So please post your photos, tag the ride, and use the hashtag #TheRide2Conquer. And we're going to include you in our recap video. We ask that you get your photos in before midday on Sunday. The sooner you get them in, the more guaranteed we are going to be able to include you in the video. Send us video. We want to see you cheering, riding, taking a break, embracing loved ones. We really want to include you. So we would really appreciate it if you could share photos and video with us.
And then, also, sorry, Tam, I'm just going to jump in there because part of social, I know I'm going to touch on it later, is Strava. And so we have, I guess we're getting close to 2,000 members in our Strava club now. And I want to make sure that every person who's on Strava, when you post your ride, make sure you post it, the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer, and post some pictures from your ride on Strava as well. And if you do that, I guarantee I will go in and I will like every single person's ride over this weekend when you call your ride the Ride to Conquer Cancer.
Well, is that a threat or a promise?
I might even go in there and comment on some of them too, but definitely post your...
Watch out, Matt. Matt, I know you're on here and I know you post to Strava, so watch out. Steve's going to be commenting. You too, Lori.
I'm watching.
That's awesome. And Alfio, I know you guys are here. So thanks for that, Steve. Maybe I'll post a photo or two of me at refuel stations. So we talked about the Ride Ready kit. We sent a Ride Ready kit with, if you've earned your jersey's going to be in there. And if you earned the long sleeve, your long sleeve would have been in there. And in order to access, so Steve's got his jersey, his shirt, he's got his socks because he registered for next year, but we're going to get into that later. He's very excited. But in order to access the refuel stations, we're asking that you show your ride pride. Come in with your silicone bracelet, your jersey if you've earned one, and if you haven't, that's okay. You've got your silicone bracelet from your Ride Ready kit. You would have also received a bike tag, and you would have secured it on the back or use your sticker. So there are many ways for you to identify that you're part of the Ride family, and you will be asked to go through a COVID screening assessment. I'm not going to steal this from Bass, but at that time is when we'll be able to say, hey, are you part of our team? You part of the family? Come on in. So we are going to be limiting our access to our refuel stations to riders only from the Ride family. So please make sure that you're identifying yourself. Let's see.
Well, the other thing we included in the kits was a little traveler pack of sunscreen. And I do believe we'll have sunscreen at the refuel stations as well. But make sure you use a lot of sunscreen. Like I was out for a ride last Sunday, and holy cow, man, I'm glad I had the 50 all over my body because I would have been burnt to a crisp otherwise. So let's make sure you really protect yourself out there and hydrate like crazy. When you're riding on a hot day and the wind is sort of keeping you a little bit cool, you don't realize how much you're sweating, and you can get dehydrated real quick. So make sure you drink a lot.
One thing I learned,
yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you. I keep thinking there's a delay and there actually isn't. So when I interrupt, sorry about that.
So just like normal, just interrupting me like normal, right?
Yeah, that's right. One thing I learned from when we did our physical ride, the last physical ride in 2019, I kind of spent some time with one of the medics, and he said to me, drink before you're thirsty. Don't wait till you're thirsty, because then it might be too late. So not to scare anyone, but you're right. This heat is killer. And, Saturday, even if we get some cloud cover, we're still going to have some humidity. So let's make sure we're hydrated. The other thing, Stephen, thanks for mentioning that the sunscreen was included in the Ride Ready pack, but there's also some disinfecting wipes from Clorox on the go. And we're really grateful to Clorox, not just for donating these wipes, but for their participation in the ride. So remember that these wipes are for your bike, your handles, and so on. They're not necessarily for your hands. They're to use on surfaces. So we hope that you'll pack that in the back of your jersey or in your carry-on on your bike and use that if you need it. But without further ado, I think it's also important while we're talking about water that you talk to everyone about some pre-ride direction and maybe some advice for Strava, Steve.
Yeah, well, the first thing, and I just wanted to share a quick story, and for those who are on social media and follow us, you would have maybe seen the story that we posted about Jason Roth. Jason is now going to be a 14-year rider. He's done every single ride like 64 other people. And Jason is planning on riding from, I think he lives in Brampton, my old hometown, all the way to Niagara Falls and back in one day. He's leaving as soon as the sun the sun won't even be up, I think, when he leaves. And it's, I think, a 340-kilometer journey that he's embarking on. So now that's a massive ride. And but what Jason is doing to prepare for his ride is actually the opposite of what you might think. Is he's not doing much this week. He's resting the legs. And hopefully some of you have done some training out there. And so if you have done your training and you're planning on doing 100 kilometers on either Saturday or Sunday or both days, or if you're planning on doing the hammer ride, make sure you ease off a little bit this week. Like, enjoy it, eat a little bit extra pasta, eat your protein, but take it easy. Save your legs for Saturday and Sunday. So the concept of tapering, Google it, and that will help you plan your last few days before this weekend. I talked about Strava. Just as a reminder for the newbies out there, you can join Strava for free. There's a paid version as well, but if you join Strava, you can make sure you join the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer Club, so you can see all the activities going on there, and you can see all the routes that have been posted. The other thing, a couple things to note, some questions that come in about the hammer. And we want to be clear that to qualify for the hammer, you have to raise at least $3,000 and ride 160 kilometers. Post it to Strava. Again, tag your ride to Conquer Cancer Hammer Ride. And as you should know, the Hammer Ride is sponsored by the Carpenters Union. And you will earn a very awesome Jackaroo hammer vest to go with the rest of your kit. So we want to see. Sweet. Yeah, it's amazing. And last year we had so many people doing the hammer ride, we had to do a special order of the vests, and we expect the same kind of enthusiasm this year.
Yeah.
The other quick thing about sort of ride-related stuff is that for survivors and for those who have participated in our in-person event, we have yellow flags that represent riders who are survivors or thrivers, as I like to call them. And so those yellow flags will be available at the refuel stations. We do have a few at the office as well if you wanted to get your yellow flag in advance. So reach out to our ride guides and we can help you get that sorted out. And now, with more details on the refuel stations and everything else ride related, I'm going to hand it over to Baz De Beer, our logistics man extraordinaire. So Baz, over to you, man.
Thanks so much, Steve. That was a great intro once again. I felt like you had that Dutch accent. You nailed it on the Dutch accent. So thank you. So let's talk about these fantastic refuel stations that we have planned for you. We've really put a lot of time and effort into making these as safe as they can be. But let's first talk about what they are. So we are very pumped to announce that we have a number of in-person refuel stations this year. that are available on selected suggested routes. You can look that up on the website as well as on Strava. We have all that information there, which routes connect and pass by these refuel stations. But this is your chance to really enjoy the epic in-person spirit that we so like at the rides in a safe way. Obviously, following all of the COVID-19 precautions like the mandatory masks as well as social distancing is definitely what will be enforced on site. In terms of your requirements to access the sites, like Tammy kind of touched on already, make sure you wear your jersey, you have your wristbands on, you have bike tags on your bike, so that we can identify you as part of the ride. Because we are only allowing any riders that are registered for the ride onto the event site. Any friends or volunteers that you bring along, well, volunteers are obviously able to access the site, but friends and family, just have them stand on the outskirts of the site and help cheer you on as you come into the site. Make sure you bring your phone. That is to access the screening process that we have in place for self-assessment. We have a very comprehensive, it's called the Health Queue System, which is an app that you can just scan on your phone through a QR code as you arrive on the site. We'll assess you right there. As you get a green pass, and you'll be able to enter the site. So it's very easy and self-sufficient. Even if you don't bring your phone, we have another way to get your answers and to get you safely into our site. Mandatory masks, like I said before, they need to be worn at all times, except obviously when you want to have a bite or have something to drink. High touch areas like the washrooms and seating areas will be sanitized regularly. And we definitely encourage to get familiar with the COVID safety plan that we have in place. It is posted on our website, so ensure that you go to our website and check it out, because it has a lot of good details in there for you that you definitely have to keep top of mind as you enter into our sites. Now, where are these awesome refuel stations? Let's talk about that. We do actually have a couple slides to kind of show you where on the map these are geographically. So let's maybe start off with the first slide. That's in Caledon at the Caledon Ski Club. And we're obviously very honored to be there. So for those elite cyclists that love the hills, I think that this would be your stop. We're only going to be activating here on the Saturday, August 28th, between 8:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. Another one-day stop is in Ancaster. So for anyone in the Hamilton or Niagara region, this will be your call to come on down on Saturday only, August 28th at the Ancaster Fairgrounds. Our third stop is actually going to be activating on both days, and it's at Waterdown. And some of you actually may be familiar with this location. This is at the Soup to Go Orchards, previously known as Fruit to Go Orchards, but it's where we've had our classic day one lunch stop for many years. So a beautiful farm for you to relax and lie in the grass as you think about the ride that day. On slide number 4, it's Keswick. I think that this was an absolute favorite last year. A lot of people that obviously like to take in the sights of Lake Simcoe. This is going to take place at Rosie's Place, a beautiful wedding venue that has allowed us to set up there on both days, both Saturday, August 28th, as well as Sunday, August 29th. And then as a little surprise for those that just want to stay back in Toronto, we have the Steam Whistle Brewery who will be offering a hydration station on Sunday. And that's also from 8:30 a.m. till 3 p.m. Let's talk about what the features are of these refuel stations and when do they open. Now, I definitely want to let you know, like, you got to come out and you got to check these out. We've put a lot of work and time into making these as elevated as they can be. They're nothing like your regular pit stop. This is an elevated experience that you have to be a part of. So we're going to have photo ops on site. We're going to have elevated food. What am I talking about with elevated food? I'm talking about gel, Cliff Bars, waffles, anything you could think of that is going to energize you throughout this ride. We obviously have electrolytes. We even have Stage 21 providing espresso service as well as coffee service. and pastries like butter tarts, Steve's favorite. I know that now. And we'll make sure to have some portable washrooms and some music playing in the background while you're at it. But most importantly, we have our 2022 re-registration station there. And when you sign up with us on events, so this Saturday or Sunday, we'll make sure to give you a pair of socks for next year. And so be sure to come and say hi, because we'll have all our ride guides out there ready to help you out and answer any questions that you may have. In addition to that, we'll also have first aid, obviously ready to help us out with ensuring our safety, and lots more. We'll have volunteers there cheering you on as you come in and out, and I think it's going to be a very exhilarating experience. I know I kind of touched on it already. When are these open? But just for good sake, after opening ceremonies at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, you can either head down to Ancaster Fairgrounds or the Caledon Ski Club. Those are the two one-day locations from 8:30 till 3 p.m. Or on Sunday, you can visit us at the Steam Whistle Brewery, which is also a one-day location on Sunday, August 29th. Same time, 8:30 till 3 p.m. And then we have the two-day locations, Rosie's Place in Keswick and Waterdown, both open both days from 8:30 till 3 p.m. So I am emphasizing these are pass-through refuel stations. So ideally, you would start at one of these refuel stations. We've kind of planned them so that you could plan your route according to these pass-through stations. They're kind of in the middle of sections where you could start and finish your routes. So conveniently, obviously located. And we've also put some suggested routes out there for you that you could pick up so that we can get you from that location to our pass-through stations. We do have limited parking at each location. So once again, I want to refrain from riders coming to these refuel stations to park, as we do try and keep the space for social distancing. That's kind of our priority. Next up, I want to take you through what kind of this refuel station will look like from up top. So we actually have a fantastic satellite view that kind of shows you. This is a very large venue. Every venue that we have booked is massive. And why is it massive? Because we obviously want to keep you safe. So lots of space to be parking your bike, lounge in our Muskoka chairs, enjoy that hot espresso with butter tarts and Cliff gels. And obviously, once again, making sure you need to pass the screening in order to enjoy all these perks. So make sure you pass the screening before you head on in, and we'll be there to help you out. So I think I've sold everyone on that you don't want to miss out on this. Be sure to check out the full details, such as suggested routes and refuel stations on our website. And we really look forward to seeing you this weekend. Over to Stay now. And Stay is going to talk to us about the Top Team Challenge. Stay, over to you.
Thank you, Baz, for that intro. We can work on your French accent for next time. Don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Like Baz said, I'm Stefan Hetherington, your 2021 Ride to Conquer Cancer manager. And since January, I've been tracking your team's fundraising level. And what I've been doing on a week-to-week basis is ranking you based on whether you're a community team or a corporate team, and based on your team size. So there are 5 team size categories per division. And all of this is part of our Top Team Challenge, which ends this Friday at 5 p.m. The winning teams of the Top Team Challenge will all be winning trophies, which you'll get at Rider Recognition Night, as well as arm warmers for every single person on your team. So there will be 10 team winners, 2 divisions, corporate, community, and then the 5 team size categories within. So what I wanted to quickly do was give a shout out to the teams that are currently at the top of the heap and have set themselves up to win those arm warmers. So really quick, to start on the corporate side, in the 2 to 10 rider category, Team Vector is currently in the lead. In the 11 to 15 rider category, we've got Team Sir John, which is a great UHN-based team, so shout out to them. Team Green in the 16 to 20 rider category is currently at the top of the heap there on the corporate side. And then our construction friends, Morant for Mankind, in the 21 to 25 rider categories in the lead. And then for the big boys on the corporate side, Team RBC currently in the lead, set up nicely to win arm warmers for everyone on their team. Over to the community side, on the 2 to 10 rider size category, Richie's Riders is well ahead in that category, so great job there. In the 11 to 15 rider category, we've actually got a pretty close battle. So in the lead right now, we've got Team Karen Scoble, and close on their heels, Andy's International Aces, only about $4,000 behind with a lot of time to go. So look out for that category. Team Hutch in the lead in the 16 to 20 rider category on the community side. The Oddballs in the lead, 21 to 25 on that side. And then on top of the heap, 26 plus, Steve's Psychopaths currently in the lead on the community side. So if you've been wondering who's been emailing you every single week with those updates, that's been me. Thanks for your feedback. It's been great interacting with you guys. So that's it for me. If you do want to go on and check to see where your team falls, you can go to our website, find the top team challenge, and you'll find where your team ranks there, or you can just send me an email and I'll get you up to speed. So on to Jill, who's got some great tips for fundraising in the home stretch here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Stay. Thank you, Stay. My name is Jill. I'm with the Ride Guide team. I've spoken with a number of you, and I'm super pumped for Soup to Go. So I'm just saying, if you want to go to that station, I'm going to be drinking espresso with my re-reg clipboard. So I'll see you all there. I am here to talk about homestretch fundraising. So to support the team challenge, many of you have been sharing your training goals, your fitness goals leading up to Ride Weekend. So now is your chance to continue your story with your donors and share your ride route, share your stops, whether they're refuel or closer to your home, because your donors like to hear the stories, and you're gonna get new donors that are going to want to support you. You can use your participant center. Many of you have been using it. You've been asking us about it. You can import some more contacts, use the templates we have, follow up with those people who may not have opened your emails yet. Just send them a follow-up and try to get some more donations because we have more time in the coming days. You can also grab the link if you're not connected to Facebook, grab the link and share on social and continue your story, possibly tag 200 people like I have. It goes over well, you'll get more donations. So you can also increase your goal. I've been hearing that works, just keep increasing it and people wanna help you achieve that goal. So we are going to be open. The phone lines are going to be open all weekend. You can text us, you can call us, you can email us, send your donors to us. We will take your donations. So I'm really excited and I can't wait to see everyone. Back to Tammy and Steve.
Those are some good tips, Jill. In fact, I think I might just send one more email, even though I have achieved my goal. Maybe not as aggressive as Steve's, because Steve and his team are really doing well this year.
Well, we're trying to stay in the top 10. There's some great competition, which is awesome to see because, you know, we all win in the end because what this money is going towards is going to help save lives and we all benefit from that. But it is nice to have a little friendly competition.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And, so fun.
It's good to see the teams leapfrogging each other as we get close to the deadline of this Friday where we lock in the industry challenge winners.
Well, I love watching the, and not to go too far off topic, but I'm as Stefan and Jill and Bass were speaking, I had the opportunity to be off camera and I was watching some of the comments go back and forth. So it's really nice to see Alfio. Yes, there's going to be espresso. Lori's pumped that the team's in the lead. It's great to see the comments coming. So anyway, I just wanted everyone to know that we do see that you're making these comments and sending hearts and so on. And
the best comment is what I noticed earlier. Like if you look at my head, I've got the two Ride to Conquer Cancer circles. I am Mickey Mouse right here, live and in person. This is Disney coming at you, folks. So
new nickname.
Thank you, Simon, for bringing that comment forward. Yeah, just call me Mickey.
I love it.
So you know, I'm trying to think of a segue for next year. I can't think of one. But you know what? we have referred to, next year. I mentioned earlier about our 15th year anniversary, and I talked about Jason Roth, who's done 14 rides, and there's 64 people who have done every single ride, so next year is going to be our 15th anniversary ride, and we're so pumped. We're fingers crossed that this COVID thing is in the rearview mirror, and we can host a massive in-person 15-year anniversary ride in June of 2022.
I'm counting on it.
We're counting on it. You heard Jill. She's going to be at the Rosie's Place pit stop or refuel station, and we're going to have the opportunity for anybody to sign up for next year if you haven't already. And I see some people in the chat that have already signed up for next year, so that's awesome. If you had signed up during OCI, you would have received your socks.
Online check-in?
During online check-in, yeah, OCI online check-in. And if you didn't sign up, you were a little hesitant to sign up during online check-in, you can still sign up at one of the refuel stations. Or heck, you know what? Bring a friend and have them sign up at the refuel station. You'll get your epic pair of 2022 15-year anniversary socks, which I am proudly putting on display right now, and I'm going to be wearing them on the ride weekend this weekend.
Limited edition.
Limited edition. And it's only like, geez, the socks alone are worth $25. So you can sign up for $25 for the 15-year anniversary. You get your socks. It's kind of a no-brainer. And when we had our 10th anniversary and our 5th anniversary, in fact, our 5th anniversary, we did sell out. We had to close down registration. We almost sold out the 10th anniversary. So sign up early, sign up often, get your friends. We want you to come back. We feel like there's going to be, between people wanting to come back and support us in the 15th anniversary and the pent-up demand of people that want to get back together and see human beings, not on a screen, I think is going to be really palpable next year. So we really look forward to hosting the 15-year anniversary. We've had some riders reach out to us and say, hey, Steve, I've been riding for every single year. I know you did the gold helmet for 5 years and then the platinum helmet for 10 years. What do you like? Do I get a new bike? Do I get a new Bianchi for, or I said, no, you're not getting a new bike. But we have a plan, and we are working on that plan, and we are going to have the big reveal this fall. And in fact, if we can do an in-person rider recognition night on November 9th in Steam Whistle, you're going to find out all about the 15th year anniversary excitement. So don't miss it. And we'll be teasing out some of the exciting things for our 15-year anniversary later this summer and early this fall. So stay tuned.
Right on. That sounds great. And Miranda, that is how you're going to get your socks. I know you said you need socks. Just register. We're going to give you a pair. So that's awesome. I'm like everyone knows, I'm totally pumped for our 15-year anniversary. Not only just to celebrate coming back together and uniting, but celebrating 15 years of the ride. And those 60 some odd folks who've been with us every ride since 2008, I cannot wait to shake each one of their what's the proper grammar?
How about give them a hug?
Yeah, I'm going to hug them.
Yes.
And if that's okay by then. Anyway, I think there are a lot of questions that have been coming in, and I think we should probably get to those so we don't keep everyone. Are you okay?
Yeah, let's get into the questions.
All right.
Okay, first question. Can you share what's happening with the gold and platinum helmets from Michelle?
Sure. So gold and platinum helmets. So thanks to our friend COVID, we have experienced some absolutely crazy challenges, not only with gear. So we just received an email not too long ago letting us know that our shipment of helmets is stuck overseas, and we're not expecting it until sometime in September.
And Tammy, I can jump in there on that too, because we ordered the helmets so long ago. We ordered them in anticipation of giving away the gold and platinum helmets at the ride in June, which we were hoping to do this year. And you're right, we did get the supply chain, especially in the bike industry, has been just devastated. And unfortunately, we're only going to be able to get them this fall. So we've sent out communications to all the riders from last year who didn't get their helmets, but stay tuned. You are going to be getting your helmets, and then the riders who are earning it right now for this year, we're going to be reaching out to you shortly as well, right, Tam?
Yes, and to keep in mind, all those of you who are watching right now and who would have earned your 5 or 10-year helmet, please remember that our team was working diligently to get through all of the online check-ins to validate everyone's participation. After we did that, that's how we would normally know to reward you with the helmet. But of course, with this additional delay, it's just made things impossible for us. We do pass on our apologies, and Stefan will be sending an email out likely tomorrow to everyone who's expecting a helmet with more details.
Yeah, and we know how important those helmets are for all the years that you've ridden and supported the Princess Margaret Ride to Conquer Cancer. And if we can be back together again for our 15-year anniversary next year, we hope to see so many gold and shiny new platinum helmets on our heads, keeping us safe.
Absolutely.
Next question that came in from Natty. I did not receive my shirt in the mail yet, so I'm wondering if that's.
Let's first ask if this individual checked in online. So the first thing you need to do is you need to check in online, and you had to do that before August 17th. If you checked in online, let's say the last day, August 17th, you should have received your Ride Ready kit by now. I believe that Stephanie, who is handling our social media today, has put the address in the comments on who to notify. So you can reach out to Jill, who spoke earlier, our ride guides, and she'll look into that right away and see what we can do to help you. And apologies for not pronouncing your name correctly, Nati, or Natty, I'm sorry. So that we hear you. So please reach out to Jill.
Yeah, reach out, and we'll do our best to get that taken care of.
Yes.
Next question from George. Do we need face masks at the ride stations? So I believe the answer is yes to that, except of course when you're eating and drinking. But I was actually out for a ride, as I said, on Sunday, and I saw people riding with their masks on. That's really precautionary, and all the power to them, but we don't expect you to be riding with your mask. But if you feel safe doing that, then go for it. But when you come into our refuel stations, masks are required with the exception of when you're eating and drinking.
Right on. Next question came in about, what is the blue open sleeve in the Ride Ready kit? That's this here. It is, we call it a buff. So you can wear it when you ride, and you can use that as your mask. Or you can wear it as a hairband, or like Survivor, you can wear it as a tube top, whatever you want. Or like Steve, you can wear it as a hat. But we had these produced courtesy of our friends at Enbridge. It's a gift on behalf of our partner Enbridge, so that you can use it for a multitude of, I don't know what the word is. Stefan is kind of laughing at me, but you can wear it a multiple different ways. Oh my gosh, when I replay this.
And I had a friend of mine, after a couple of Diet Cokes, he put it on as a skirt. And so you can be really creative with your buff. So next question came in from Brian. How do I become a member of the ride group in Strava? So it's really simple. Once you join Strava, just go to the search and you'll search up the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer group, and it's open to join. Anybody can join. So super simple.
Yes. In previous years, we had a photographer taking pictures of riders along the route. Will we have a photographer in this year's ride? And that came from Pascal, I believe. You know what? We won't have one photographer. We will have several photographers. And that is because we're not all in one place. So our team has been working through logistics to see if we're going to have photographers along the route, at our refuel stations, and we'll also have videographers. So the other thing to do here, Pask, is send us your photos as well. So upload photos and post them, tagging the ride and using the hashtag the Ride to Conquer, because we may miss you. We've got hundreds and hundreds of kilometers to cover. We may not catch you. So please, if you don't see one of our photographers or videographers, post a picture or 2 or 10 to social media and make sure to tag us, because you'll be included in our ride recap video on Sunday afternoon.
Right
Hope
on.
that answers your question.
Next question came in from Lisa. I wonder if that's my friend Lisa Harris. Will there be any stations on day 2 Classic Hamilton to Niagara? So if you had seen the map that Bass posted, we have 4 stations on Saturday and 2 stations on Sunday. And the 2 stations on Sunday are the Waterdown location and the Keswick location. So Soup to Go and Rosie's Place are the ones on Sunday. So the one on Saturday that is closest to the route you're doing is the Ancaster Fairgrounds. So that's only open on Saturday. So all the details are up on the website right now.
Right on. Thanks, Steve. Another question from our friend Nati. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name. It's such a unique way spelling, N-A-T-I. Is there any volunteer work? You know what? I have to say, I asked Bass because Bass is in charge of, I mean, a million things, but one of the other things Bass is in charge of is our crew and volunteers. And when I came to Bass and I said, Bass, how are we, do we need to recruit volunteers? He goes, you know what, Tammy, in fact, we have so many folks who have stepped up to help. We're good. And you know what? That is such an incredible problem to have. We have so many fantastic people who want to pitch in and help. So thank you so much for asking. But you know what? We're going to need you next year. So please, how do we know Bass? I don't know if Bass can step in here to tell us how to volunteer.
Yeah, so the best way to volunteer is to send us an email, and then we put you on the list for next year, and we will be in touch with you, and we'll let you know all the different volunteer opportunities that we have for next year that you could choose from. So please be in touch with us. Call us on the right line or send us an email, and we'll sort you out. Thank you.
Perfect.
Bass. First time rider doing the Classic. This is from a YouTube watcher. What is recommended to carry while you ride? I've got a tire repair kit and water bottles. What else? So, you could easily go to the interweb and type in, what to bring on your first century ride. I think you're most of the way there. What I recommend to people is bring your health card just in case. Bring a credit card. Bring a $20 bill. In case you need to, let's say you get lost, or you want to go into a coffee shop and pick up some extra nourishment. You have a spare tire, which is great, and the tire levers. Make sure you have a pump or a CO2 cartridge, so to blow that the tire up if it goes flat. Bring a mask. That's also something to bring, and your phone, a fully charged phone. Those are the key things that I always like to bring.
Butt butter.
Butt butter? Well, yeah, that's
my biggest recommendation.
Bring your butt butter or preload your chamois. By the way, I have to say this to all the newbies out there. I see on the chat that there's a few first-time riders. You do not wear underwear under your cycling shorts or your bib shorts. You do not. Okay, that promotes chafing and will make your ride uncomfortable. So do not wear the underwear under your chamois. And chamois butter, I see Kathleen posting, don't forget the chamois butter. So you can apply that right onto your chamois prior to your ride, and that will help smooth out your experience on the ride weekend.
Yep. Someone told me, and I don't know if it was Sabrina, Sabrina from the Heen team, but someone smart told me, take a little Ziploc bag, put a little bit of your butt butter in there, and then you've got your Ziploc bag. It's easy to use. So Sabrina, take credit for that. I think it might have been you, but that's some good advice too that I use.
Great idea. And that idea will really play well for the next question. Is the person asked if the hammer has to be 160K in one day, and yes, it does have to be in one day. And I would suggest you take Sabrina up on her advice and pack a little extra lube for your 160-kilometer Carpenters Union hammer ride.
So we have a question. Is there any organized parking lots for the preferred rides, particularly the Keswick route? And that's from John. So John, you may not have joined us when Bass was sharing the details on our refuel stations. Each of our 4 refuel stations are privately owned properties, with the exception of Caledon, I believe. And they do have a small area to park, We are not necessarily encouraging folks to use that as their start and finish line area because of social distancing. We are doing our very best to follow the guidelines. So I'm going to call Bass again.
I can help on that one, Tammy.
Yeah?
For that one in particular, on the Keswick route, because that's the classic Lake Simcoe ride, and a lot of people will go to Victoria Square. There's a park there where you can park your vehicles, or you can go on the other side of the 404. There's the Home Depot Plaza. There's also the Richmond Green, the town of Richmond Hill, baseball diamonds, hockey rink. There's tons of parking there. And that's where a lot of cyclists who drive a little bit north of Toronto, they park, and then it's actually almost a perfect 100-kilometer route from there up to the lake and back, and you could hit the Rosie's Place pit stop on both ways, on the way up and then the way back as well. So that's go to Google Maps and search up Home Depot, Richmond Hill, right by and that's one, or Victoria Square.
Good advice. Speaking of Google Maps, do you have instructions to load the route in Google Maps or any GPS app for an Android phone? And this is from our friend Pask again. Steve, do you want to take that one, or do you want Bass to jump in?
Bass, you want to take that one, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can definitely download those routes. All you have to do is go to the Strava page. So first of all, find the route that you're looking for, go to the Strava page, and the Strava page allows you to export into a GPX file, which is usually used on any of those Android phones to be able to incorporate it in there. And the nice thing is that if you have the Strava app, you're actually able to load the route onto your phone, and it will give you directions, right? It will give you directions on where to turn and where to go from there. I would not suggest that you wear headphones, so just have your phone on speaker, and that way it'll actually give you directions on where to go.
Good advice. Thanks, Bass.
No problem.
Can we have friends and family meet us at the refuel stations?
So that's
you're on screen. Oh,
sorry, Tam, you go ahead.
No, I saw Bass still on screen. I thought you might as well take that, Bass, as I'm talking, but Bass, you're on screen again. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll take that one. We definitely we would love to have all your friends and family there. They're just not allowed inside of the refuel stations, but we're happy to have them along the sidelines, right? Just make sure that they don't obstruct the roads or driveways, and just be respectful. But we'd love to still have them out there, just maybe not in masses. Another good thing is what they could do is try and see where you're going to be alongside the route, and plan to be at like a community center or a school that is closed, so that they give each other a little bit more space to stand and cheer on our riders. I think that might be a good tip.
And part of that reason is because of the social distancing, right, Bass?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like we would hate to see people on top of each other, especially on these sites. Like we don't necessarily have a big shoulder on the side of the road, and some of those roads are obviously heavy traffic roads. They're highway roads, so we want to keep you safe as well. So yeah, 100% safety is our number one priority.
And Bass, do you want to answer the next question?
Yes, absolutely. Will there be any bike repair capability at the ride stations? George, thank you for that question. There definitely will be. We're going to have Stage 21 providing technical support for those that need a little tune-up or need a tube replaced. They're going to be at the Waterdown location. They're going to be at the Caledon location, and they're going to be at the Keswick locations. So those are the 3 locations that they're going to be at.
Might as well take the next one.
Yeah, might as well. So what is the earliest and latest time I can arrive at the refuel station? Zaid F. Thanks for that question. It's the earliest will be 8:30 a.m. and the latest will be 3 p.m. So anytime in between that time, and you're good. Might as well take the next one too.
Okay.
Will there be any ride marshals? Wondering if there will be different ride speeds from Ed1. Thank you so much for your question. We will not have any ride marshals out there. There's not a supported route experience. It's really you are on your own. Whether you wanted to ride in a group, that's up to your own comfort level. So in terms of different ride speeds, it is really within your own comfort as into what speed you're going to be riding. Although Steve might say riding in a group will be a little bit easier, especially if there's a nice headwind. But once again, I do want to remind you, as per our safety video, no drafting, and keep yourself safe at a safe distance from each other.
Thanks, Bass.
No worries.
Is there a number? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, the next question, is there a number I can call if I can't find the refuel stations on the day of my ride? So that's from Addison. So thanks for the question, Addison. And unfortunately, we do have our ride office open, and the ride guides will be standing by to help support people who might have questions about donations or registering or that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we don't have the resources to help guide riders if they happen to get lost. As Bass indicated earlier, it's a virtual ride, and we have routes posted all over our Strava club and on our website. And so, if you aren't comfortable with your phone and routes, you can also print them off in advance, and which should help you navigate to find the pit stop. So, unfortunately, we don't have the resources to help direct everybody who's out there on the roads on this weekend.
Can I exchange my jersey size before the ride weekend? Harriet, thank you for your question. We touched upon it a little earlier, but that's okay because people are popping in and out. We are picking up, so you would have received a ride ready kit after you checked in, and that's coming from a fulfillment house. Now, we are going with our cars tomorrow to that fulfillment house to pick up remaining items. We are bringing them back to our office tomorrow, and we are going to go through every box to see what we have left in terms of sizes. So we would like to make available Thursday and Friday to come to our offices, which are at 700 University Avenue, so at the foundation. That's the only location we'll be able to get these to, because we're working literally within a very quick time frame to turn things around. But yes, you can exchange your jersey. Email, please, the ride guides so that we have your name down, because there may not be enough inventory to do exchanges. So please email our ride guides, and we'll take your name and we'll see what size you need and what size you have, and if we're able to exchange it Thursday or Friday before the ride. If not, we'll get to you after the ride.
Awesome. Thanks, Tammy. I'll take the next one.
Thank you.
Are the routes monitored for either bike breakdowns or medical? From Pascal Zet. Thank you so much for that question. Unfortunately, it does go back to the last answer that I gave on supported routes. We are not supporting these routes. So unfortunately, we are unable to help you with bike breakdowns or medical. But what I do want to say, so treat it as if you're on the road by yourself. If you do come across any medical situation, the first thing you do is call 911 and stay on scene to help out. And in terms of a bike breakdown, you better call on that best friend to help and pick you up. And if we're close by, obviously we'll be there to help you out. But we're not going to be monitoring those routes. So please don't expect us to show up.
Thanks. What time do you expect the opening ceremony to finish? Well, that all depends on what stories Steve is going to tell during opening ceremonies. So we're scheduled to start at 8 a.m. and we really hope that we're going to be able to get everyone on the roads by 8:50 a.m. That's 8:50. The thing is, we've got some amazing people who are going to be joining us live during opening ceremonies. So you won't want to miss it, but we understand that everyone's eager to get out on the roads. So block off 8 till 9 a.m. and we'll get you out before 9 a.m. And I think that was from Sparky. So thank you so much for your question, Sparky. I think that's it for questions. We are finishing right on time, 7 o'clock. Want to thank everyone for coming on, taking your evening, enjoying your dinner or a drink, and we can't wait to see your photos on social media. And I hope that most of you, if not all of you, are able to stop by one of our refuel stations, and I hope that we're able to cross paths. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Awesome.
And
thanks, Tam.
Take care.
Yep. See you on the road this weekend. Safe riding, everybody. Right on.
Right on.